It is possible your cell phone or laptop is powered by child labor. Tonight, CBS News investigates the mining of cobalt used in many lithium-ion batteries. More than half the world's cobalt comes from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Barely 10 years old, these kids lug heavy sacks of cobalt to be washed in rivers. And even those too young to work spend much of their day breathing in toxic fumes.
You see, there is so much demand, especially being driven by this transition to electric vehicles.
You know, that's why today I'm signing an executive order setting out a target of 50% of all passenger vehicles sold by 2030 will be electric.
Mining companies, especially the Chinese ones, dump toxic effluents in the earth, the air, the water. I have seen villages with children playing in the dirt covered in sulfuric acid. Millions of trees have been clear-cut. The waterways, lakes, and rivers have also been polluted. So fish stocks are polluted, animal stocks are polluted, vegetables are polluted. Everyone there is being slowly poisoned to death by cobalt mining operations. That's the truth that the stakeholders at the top of the chain don't want us to know.
And a key part of the electric vehicle, to state the obvious, is the battery. And right now, 80% of the manufacturing capacity for these batteries is done in China.
But China, it dominates and controls mining production on the ground. And what I've seen with my own eyes and what any Congolese person living in the Katanga region will tell you is they pay no heed to the human rights of the Congolese people, and they pay no heed to the environmental protection. Cobalt is toxic. It's toxic to touch. It's toxic to breathe.
Now the Biden administration wants to accelerate the green revolution with tougher emission standards, and industry sources say requiring that EVs make up at least 54% of automakers' new car sales by 2030.
There is so much demand for cobalt that mining companies can't get it out of the ground quickly enough.
2/3 of sales by 2032.
So I have seen thousands of women with babies strapped to their backs inhaling toxic cobalt dust day in and day out, 10-year-old children caked in toxic filth, exposing themselves to toxic cobalt, and the ore that these children are digging that has cobalt in it often has traces of radioactive uranium. So the public health catastrophe, on top of the human rights violence, on top of the environmental destruction, is unlike anything we've ever seen in the modern context. And the fact that it is linked to companies worth trillions and that our lives depend on this enormous violence has to be dealt with.
He's getting ready to sign that executive order aiming to curb greenhouse gas emissions, saying the future of the automobile industry is electric.
You know, the emissions from a vehicle like yours causes irreparable damage to the ozone. I drive a hybrid. It's much better for the environment. Thanks.
Everyone there is being slowly poisoned to death.